What are we doing today, Jacob?
Star Wars.
We're watching Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Welcome to NerdOut.
For the third time.
Third time for you, really? Fucking hell. Alright, so we just came out of Star Wars Rise of Skywalker.
My start that again?
No, because my brain's scrambled. Jacob, what was your thought of the first time?
Loved it
Third time, sorry.
Loved it the first time. Loved it the second time. And loved it the third time.
First time I watched it and I loved it. We'll see you back at NerdOut headquarters with the full review. Hey guys, NerdOut's back. We've been gone for a while. That's because he's been away and I've been busy and away for the past year as well, isn't it, really?
Yeah, you went away for a year, then as soon as you come back, I'm then away for a year.
Yeah, so it's just been one massive clusterfuck. But as you probably saw from the intro, we just went to see Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. And this video is basically going to be us reviewing it. This is my first time seeing it, so I'm going to be talking about it from a first time seeing it perspective. This is his third time, so he's going to be talking about it.
I've seen it 3 times. I've also Googled a lot, so I know a lot of the meaning behind certain scenes. I also seen interviews with J.J. Abrams where he's revealed certain things. But we just remember, this is going to be a very spoilery video. So if you haven't seen it yet,
please fuck off.
Yeah.
We don't want to spoil anything for you. We'll put spoilers in the title of the video, hopefully, anyway.
And if you watch this openly complaining about spoilers, that's your own fault.
We've warned you, spoilers ahead, but for those who have seen it and want to know what we think, let's begin, shall we? So, first of all, Jacob, did you like it?
Honestly, I loved it. There were a few bits in it that I thought were a bit rushed. There were a few bits that I was just like, what the hell is going on here? But overall, I think it was a fantastic end to the franchise. The Skywalker saga, not the franchise as a whole. So
well, it is the end of a trilogy and the end of a saga.
What did you think?
I liked it. I really did like it. As you said, bits are rushed. Bits are definitely rushed. But there's also a lot in it that it rounds off story arcs for different characters.
Yeah, and it retcons the absolute shit that was The Last Jedi.
Yes, it completely retcons it. Thank God for that. Because after that film, I thought there was no hope until they brought J.J. Abrams in.
Yeah, you can definitely see a lot of the bits where J.J. Abrams really could have done with having the entire trilogy. Because you can see what he wanted to do with it. And like when it comes to Rey's parentage, like Rian Johnson was quite happy to just go, actually, no, it's completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
And the first thing J.J. Abrams does, like, fucking what?
Yeah. Honestly, I think J.J. Abrams done a very good job of rectifying the trilogy.
And I think
that's what it is. It's a new trilogy.
And I think they were the bits that were rushed as well, because he had to get certain bits out, like who Rey's grandfather is. That was a little bit rushed.
Yeah.
But I think that's because he needed to get it done to continue on with the story.
Yeah. And that it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's forgivable. Can't believe I forgot the word forgivable. Jesus Christ.
Forgivable.
Yes.
You get why it happened.
Yeah. Alright, so moving on. What is your favourite bits and or bits that stood out as good bits, bad bits, those bits? Just bits.
I think bad bits. Just the way in which it was revealed that she's a Palpatine.
Yeah, completely agree.
Very, very quick.
Can I talk about this from a first person seeing it? I didn't expect a Palpatine. I honestly thought she was either going to be the child of a Skywalker, a Kenobi, or even just born from the Force itself.
I was glad they didn't do Force itself because I don't want to touch Metachlorians ever again. And I've seen...
We don't like them. We don't like them here at NerdOut.
I've seen a lot of the Palpatine theory, so I kind of... Not like I just went in knowing that it was going to be that.
Yeah.
It was a case of, I was just like, that's my top 3. But also, I just want to know who would sleep with the Emperor.
Yeah. If there's anyone out there who would willingly sleep with the Emperor and have consensual sex with him, please let us know, because we have no fucking idea who's willing, who would give themselves to do that.
Like, it's just one of the, because the timing that he would have had to have had kids would have been during obviously the Empire, because he used to be alive. The fact that no one knew he even had a son around until then, like Darth Vader must have known something.
Yeah.
So you'd have thought he would have at least told Luke. Oh, well, he didn't have enough time, he died, but... I just thought that bit was a bit weird. The biggest complaint for me about this entire film...
Yes.
...was... And it is down to the Emperor himself. He goes through... being able to kill all of these ships, destroy all of their systems with his powers, was sat on the throne of the Sith, which has been done in Legends magazines, comics, and books. So I'm not surprised that happened. A lot of the Force abilities people have complained about, but that is canon.
Yeah, it always has
been.
We've
seen it in The Mandalorian episode 7 with the Force heal. It's just the fact he goes from that to then struggling against the lightsaber. He is... used the Force lightning on 3 lightsabers in the past. Didn't work against Mace Windu.
No.
Didn't work against Luke.
No.
And now it's not working against Rey. Come up with something else. And also, 2 lightsabers together, she can just throw it. Like, I was just there like, I am all the Jedi. I was like, wow, this is Endgame all over again. I am Tony Stark now, I'm all the bloody Jedi. Like,
yeah. We were concerning that, because I thought it was a bit like, hey, we've got this all-knowing, all-powerful fucking Sith. Let's kill him with a lightsaber. It's why doesn't he just have a lightsaber himself, you know? Like, I know he lost it on Coruscant, sorry. He lost it on Coruscant in his fight against Mace Windu.
I just think it's the case of he never needed one.
Why? Because he was so...
But I've seen, if you look at Revenge of the Sith and how he actually fights, his combat style.
Yeah.
This is where it's kind of obvious why he is Rey's a Palpatine, because the style he uses, and I only found this out from watching various other videos, Rey uses the same combat style that the Emperor did.
Kind of throw yourself into it and hope for the best?
Yeah, but like the way she holds herself, and that is the way the Emperor fought against Yoda, and I think that was actually quite little references to it that none of us had really realised before.
Oh no, yeah, I completely agree. Because whereas like the Skywalkers, and especially Ben or Kylo Ren, as a lot of people know him as, they've always been the more skilled lightsaber users.
Although I've never understood about holding the lightsaber so it's facing that way in your hand.
Well, Ahsoka uses it because it was easier for her
but she was dual wielding.
We're getting off track here. Yeah. We are getting really off track.
The other thing, and there's one thing I really liked, and it's probably something very small, it's the fact that he used the ancient samurai arts with his helmet, of how you could see, when it was rebuilt, how you had all of the lines in it of where it was broken.
Yeah.
And that is actually what samurais did. They wanted to show their imperfections.
Yeah, it's the whole battle-scarred scenario type thing.
And I really liked how they did that. It's just something small like that. What bits stood out for you?
Bits that really stood out, as far as bad bits go, the whole... It really still hacks me off. And we all kind of, like, sensed it at the end that Finn has now become Force sensitive, right? And that's what he wanted to tell Rey. they could have. I reckon they could have told that bit a lot better. But I also reckon it wasn't necessary. Yeah, sure, Finn, he's a well-loved character, and for him to be Force sensitive, because he wielded a lightsaber in the first film, and that made us all go, "Oh my god, the fuck!" But
we all thought he was the Jedi originally.
I honestly thought he would just be the next good pilot, and the whole defector.
That was always going to be Poe, because Rey's a pilot, Poe's a pilot, Finn is just there. I think Finn's. I can't even say he's a good tactician. The only reason he's good is because he knows how the ships are designed.
Yeah, that's
yeah, it's kind of weird, and also the fact that it was just like, I need you to be a leader. Oh, cool, general, and you're like, is that all it takes? Like, no contract, no, just you're a general now.
It's official, guys. Star Wars doesn't have paperwork.
Well, this is the thing. Like, we can complain, but there are a lot of issues with the film, and I've got this saying that. None of the Star Wars films are bad movies. There are just bad Star Wars movies.
Agreed. Completely agree.
They even Phantom Menace is good, but just crap at the same time.
Yeah,
but
it's a good film. It's a bad Star Wars film.
I do think with this, because first time I watched it in 4DX, which is basically like a simulated roller coaster where the chairs move, you get rain on you and all that, and the
imagine doing that with porn.
Just why? Just come on, why?
We're getting off topic again.
VR headset right there. You can do that with.
I'm fine. We need to get back on track.
But but the way doing that with the flight scenes and everything, it's just fantastic. I do think the CGI and the way a lot of the characters are actual animatronics. They're not like complete CGI like they were in the prequels. You've got that little bastard that I can't remember the name of.
Which one?
The one that kind of screws with C-3PO.
Was his name like Doug or something?
No, it wasn't Doug. It was beginning with B. I'm going to Google
really
this.
quick.
No, actually, I can't because I won't find it.
Okay, let's move. Let's carry on. Because my favourite bit, and it was also one of my favourite bits in. Return. Was it Return or Revenge? Not Revenge. Return or The Empire Strikes Back. The whole concept of Rey battling herself. It was the echo back to the Empire. Yeah, there we go. It was Empire. Because it reverts back to Luke battling Vader, his father, but Vader was him.
Yeah.
And I like the whole arc of the whole, like, when it comes to a Jedi, the demon is not somebody else, it is yourself, and Palpatine is her. That's why her arc on, as far as the whole battling to become a Jedi, to face the fear, I found that worked really well throughout the first film and the last film of this trilogy.
Yeah, I think the arcs of the characters, like, I think Ben Solo, I don't want to call him Kylo Ren anymore, there's no point, has one of the best arcs, I think, of all of the Star Wars films.
Definitely.
I think the way they do his redemption, I think the same with Rey, it's a case of they've got those inner struggles that are their demons.
Yeah.
And as like Luke says to Rey when she says like she fears herself the most, Luke is just like a Jedi's power is in fighting that fear.
Yeah.
And I think the arcs are fantastic. Yeah. I think the scripts are really good for it.
And one more thing on like bits that stood out. Can we just say great memoriam to Carrie Fisher. Absolutely and a great way of sending off Princess Leia.
Well, we were actually together when the news came out that she passed away, and there was like silence in our house, my house, for like
a good 20 minutes.
Yeah, because we knew she had a heart attack a few days before.
Yeah.
Then we thought she'd recovered. Absolutely fantastic, and the way they didn't. Obviously, they CGI'd her in the flashback.
Yeah.
Had to. They CGI'd Mark Hamill as well. But the way they use like unseen footage from the other two films was utterly brilliant.
And I think it was a great send off for Princess Leia. Great finish to the Leia storyline, especially the fact that she has a lightsaber. I loved that. And in memory of Carrie Fisher, wonderful woman, hilarious woman.
Yeah, and I think
God rest her soul.
what really hit home as well was Chewie's reaction to.
Yes. Oh my God.
Really hit home.
That nearly got me tearing up. Chewie, because that was the last thing that Chewie had to love left.
Yeah.
It was the last of his original family, but he's got a new family now, which brings us to potential. What could we see coming up with a new possible Star Wars films that continues with Rey's story, Finn's story, and Poe's story? Because Poe is actually an essential part of the three now.
Rey is definitely going to have. It's already been said. She's going to have a spin-off 5 to 10 years down the line, where she is training younglings. And I think that will. What we saw at the end, I think her Jedi Temple is going to be on Tatooine. I'm pretty certain of that.
Yeah, possibly built around the old Skywalker estate.
Yeah, but it's also like she feels at home on sandy planets that are just
barren
crap. Like, I think apparently there's talks of a Rose spin-off. She was quite underdeveloped, but again didn't really have a lot to do.
Yeah.
Finn will have to be in that Rey film. He's force sensitive. He will have to be there. I'd like to see. I'd very much like to see a Poe Dameron prequel.
Me too, because there's one bit I quite liked.
Spice Runner.
A Spice Runner. We all know we now know Rey's a Palpatine abandoned on Jakku. Finn was taken from birth and trained as a stormtrooper, First Order stormtrooper. Poe, we never knew anything about before. We found out he's a Spice Runner, and I reckon it would make a great either a Mandalorian TV show or solo Star Wars story film. It would make a great one of those.
Yeah, I think his would be a good Fighter Squadron kind of one.
Yeah.
And I feel like Oscar Isaac would be up for doing it as well.
Yeah.
All three of them. I think Daisy Ridley was the one that is unsure about coming back. Well, she has to now. She's got her own film. But, she was the one that was a bit worried about it, whereas John Boyega would happily come back.
Oh yeah, fantastic actor as well. Fantastic actor. Brilliant acting in all three films.
One thing that I've actually just completely forgot about.
What?
And it was the thing that we were most hyped about, the new trilogy.
Yeah.
Could we not have a Captain Phasma prequel? Because,
oh my god!
She was utterly useless.
Forgot about Phasma.
She was the character that I was personally most hyped for.
Yeah, no, and I find it a shame that she got killed off in
and I was hoping for a Knights of Ren prequel, but they were useless. They didn't do a lot.
Hey, that was one of the things in one of the film. And for those of you watching this, you probably did see it. It was me and the Knights of Ren will hunt her down. All the Knights of Ren did was stand around her at any given time, hide around a big rock.
They were definitely under Palpatine's thumb at all times.
Yeah, because they turned against Ben.
I can't think of. I think with this series, a Poe Dameron prequel would be great.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him Spice Running, but I'd love to see him training as well.
It's going in as a pilot in the Resistance.
Yeah, Rey will definitely have her solo film.
Yeah.
Other than
Finn
that,
will probably just get involved in the Rey one.
Yeah, I think he will probably end up in Rose's TV series
at some point, maybe.
I
just hope Disney doesn't kill it too much. That's my biggest thing. I don't want Disney milking the cash cow.
Yeah, because I think Mandalorian's utterly fantastic.
Mandalorian's brilliant. We're going to be doing a separate video on that.
I just think I'm glad they're taking. I think it's 3 years off between now and the next film.
Please, God, Disney, please.
Yeah, but I think we'll leave the rest of our what could they do next, because we've got another video planned for that. But we've got our list in order of worst to best films in our opinion.
Worst Star Wars film to the best Star Wars film. Shall we say our first ones then? Because I've got my little notepad here and I've just dropped something.
We're saying worst first?
Worst first.
What's your worst Skywalker Saga film?
My worst Skywalker Saga.
Just to let you know, this will not include Rogue One or the solo film.
No, because this thing is part of the Skywalker Saga, which includes the prequels, the original trilogy, and the new one.
Yeah.
So my worst one for me was Revenge of the Sith. And what was yours?
Mine was Attack of the Clones.
Really?
Quite happily, Attack of the Clones. It was awful. There was a few bits in it that I liked, Boba Fett's, Jango Fett's gong on Slave One.
The seismic charges.
The seismic charges. That's it. Other than that, Anakin was a creep in the whole movie.
Yeah, no, I completely get that, but for me, Revenge of the Sith compared to Attack of the Clones was the worst one, because with Revenge of the Sith, they went into I don't know, I just didn't like it.
I did actually quite like it.
Also the acting. Let's be honest, Ewan McGregor, an amazing actor. We've seen him in lots of things, But for some reason, in the third film, he just falls apart. I have the high ground. Hello there.
But to be fair, it was kind
They
of
killed younglings. I mean, come on.
Yeah, to be fair though, you kind of saw that like in the you've seen the Solo film, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I've seen the Solo.
In that, Emilia Clarke, amazing actress,
Of course.
fantastic as Daenerys,
Beautiful
could not
woman.
act in that entire movie.
No,
she
true.
was awful.
She was horrid. It was.
I
It was,
remember watching it and I was
to
like,
watch.
huh? Yeah,
painful
it was
to
painful,
watch.
but also like I don't think she wanted to be there.
No.
But anyway, what was your second?
So
What?
my second one was Last Jedi, second worst film in the whole saga. Last Jedi.
I'm actually agreeing with you
So
there.
you've got it down as
I've
well.
got it as my
Thank God for that.
yeah. So
It holds up on its own sort
no, it
of.
was shit. So
But it
let's
was-
be fair.
But it wasn't as shit as either of the prequels that we've mentioned. I will agree with that. However, I have put Attack of the Clones as higher than Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you agree. Last Jedi was one of the worst Star Wars films to ever come out of this Skywalker saga.
For seventh,
Yep.
I've put The Phantom Menace.
I've put Attack of the Clones.
I've put Phantom Menace because I know Revenge of the Sith was just my favourite of the prequels.
Right.
I think mainly because of the age I was when I watched it. For the CGI at the beginning, it feels like opening scene where they're like in their
Yes.
Jedi Starship. I just loved it. Phantom Menace, it's more the case of how much they just didn't utilise Darth Maul.
Yeah, okay, fair
And
enough.
the pod race was incredible.
I've put Attack of the Clones there because even though it's a good introduction to the clones, for the exact same reasons why you put it last, is the reason why I put it seventh.
I think Attack of the Clones is...
I don't think it's as bad as The Last Jedi,
I think it's just a bit...
but I don't think it's
Yeah.
as good as the rest of them.
I just think it's a bit of a letdown, the fact that the Clone Wars was this massive thing that they speak about in A New Hope.
Yeah.
And like, it was a massive...
And I think that's...
veteran.
and I think, like, with Attack of the Clones, it was... I think its only purpose
Yeah.
was to set up the Clone Wars
It's
series.
also, like, Boba Fett is, granted,
A badass.
one of the most overrated characters in film history, has 14 lines, but absolute badass. And yet they give us Jango Fett, who he's based off, who's just pathetic.
Yeah, agreed. Completely agreed.
Absolutely pathetic.
Who did you put down as the... What did you put down as the sixth worst one?
I put Revenge of the Sith.
I've put Phantom Menace. I rate Phantom Menace better than Revenge of the Sith, and
I
I
can see
rate
why.
it better than Attack of the Clones.
I think Phantom Menace had very good elements to it.
Yeah.
I think Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon has to go down as one of the most
Liam
perfect castings.
Neeson is the main reason why I put
And it's
Phantom
also
Menace
the
above.
only time, other than I'm going to put in Rey with her very now force neutral blimmin' lightsaber.
Yeah, because that is a grey Jedi lightsaber. That.
Yeah. Qui-Gon was the only proper grey Jedi we ever really got to see.
Even though he was a member of the Jedi Order, we can all agree he was. He knew balance had to exist, and he knew that within you had to carry both the light and the dark.
He was also the one that had to train Yoda how to do to be a Force Ghost.
Yeah.
So like he mastered all of this.
Yeah.
And the pod race was incredible.
Amazing sequence. Amazing sequence.
What have you put as your... I'm trying to count now. Fifth.
Fifth, I have put Rise of Skywalker.
I've put Rise of Skywalker as well.
Good film. Doesn't quite come up to the cut of the original trilogy, in my eyes.
Yeah. I think... I can't really add much more to that. Right, this is probably where it's going to get interesting between us.
This is where we're going to argue the most.
Fourth, I've put A New Hope.
Really?
Yes.
I've put Force Awakens.
I've put A New Hope because I think Force Awakens, it was this massive thing that just came back, absolutely amazing,
Yeah.
wowed us all. Yes, A New Hope started it all, it did. I don't know,
Now,
I think it was
You
just,
see,
A New Hope did it all just so well.
reason why I put Force Awakens as my fourth place was mainly because it's a clone copy of A New Hope. It is an exact clone copy. The only thing is the baddies are bigger and badder. That's all it is.
And it sold more toys.
And it's sold way more toys.
Now
And
this is going to be interesting now.
Yeah, this is going to get
Top
very...
right, what did you put third?
For my third favourite, I put Return of the Jedi.
I put Force Awakens.
Okay, this is very interesting
Right.
now.
Second,
New Hope.
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, I see where this is going.
So you got Empire as your top.
Empire is my top favourite Star Wars film of all
Return
time.
is mine. Return is my all-time favourite movie.
You see, Empire
can't
is my
fall-
all-time favourite movie underneath Lord of the Rings of the Two Towers.
I wouldn't even put Lord of the Rings in my top 3.
Really?
Yeah, I think Dark Knight comes second.
Oh, you're stupid. You are so stupid.
Yeah.
Why did you put Return then?
I don't know. I think growing up, it was probably the film I saw the most.
You see, that's why I've put that. That's why I've put Empire. It's the film I saw the most. The whole battle sequence on Hoth is the opening sequence. I thought was amazing.
Yeah, I think
everyone loves AT-ATs, and it is AT-AT. It's not AT-AT. You say AT-AT, I will find you, hunt you, and kill you.
So what do you call the other ones? ATST.
No, they're ATSTs.
ATST.
George Lucas himself said they're AT-ATs.
I know. So when it comes to the walkers, because I'm not getting into this with you.
Let's not.
No, I think Return. It was, I think, the space battle at the end that got me. And the fact they managed to do all of that and the explosions and just Yoda just dying.
What let me down on Return had to be definitely had to be Ewoks.
I love Ewoks.
I don't like Ewoks. I wish I could slaughter Ewoks. This is why I'm partially Sith. Out of the two of us, I would go to. And by the way, just quickly, let's refer back. They were in the Endor system, right? They weren't on Endor, but they were in the Endor system. No mention of Ewoks, though. You see Ewoks at the end, but no mention.
Yeah, because they weren't on the forest moon of Endor.
I know they weren't on the forest moon of Endor.
So there won't be Ewoks.
They were probably on the fucking plain moon of Nendor.
I'm pretty sure they were actually on Endor.
No, they weren't on Endor.
Oh,
they were. Oh, you're not the moon, the actual planet.
The actual planet of Endor.
That would make sense, because that planet did look a bit big.
Yeah, I don't think it was the forest moon of Endor. I think it was actually Endor itself.
Actually Endor itself.
And that's probably why they could see Star Destroyers being shot, because they went to the Death Star.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think, I don't know, I just loved Return.
I loved Empire. It was my favourite film as a kid.
Yeah, Return
before
was my favourite film, is still my favourite film. I don't know.
But you also got to
Luke
think.
complains the least in that movie, I think.
But you got to think. Empire Strikes Back. It introduces Lando, man. And you got the whole Cloud City sequence.
Yeah, but you've also got
But this is. I reckon this is a whole different discussion. Like,
it's a whole different discussion. But at the end of the day, both got our opinions. One is definitely wrong. Yours.
Yours.
No,
I'm glad we agree on a couple of things, though. And I want you lot to tell us what you think if you were to rank them from worst to best.
I'd even know where I'd put Solo and Rogue One in there.
Where would you put Solo and Rogue One?
And I'm just getting my list. So Rogue One would
be last for me. Rogue One would be right at the fucking bottom.
Rogue One would be fourth.
Really?
It would overtake it.
That film sucked.
And Solo, I think Solo would just. I think that would come in the bottom 5, but it would probably be 5th in the bottom 5.
I reckon I would have. For me, Solo movie will come between Phantom Menace and Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, I think I'd have Rogue One 4th, and then 5th, then probably 6th or 7th.
Yeah.
I'd probably have Solo, because I actually really enjoyed Solo.
It was a good film. It was an okay film, but we'll discuss this another time.
But, you know.
Anyway, I think that concludes our review. Any last words on Rise of Skywalker?
Absolutely brilliant. If you get a chance to watch it in 4DX, do it. May the Force be with you. That's literally...
Yeah, no, Rise of Skywalker, I suggest you see it. The Cineworld gave us a free pack of cards when we got our tickets.
Left there.
You left it at the cinema. I've still got mine. I've got to open mine yet. But go see it. If you want a free pack of trading cards, go to Cineworld for it. This is not a paid promotion, by the way. This is just me saying...
I do just think Cineworld is the better one.
Yeah, the view's too expensive, in my opinion. But yeah, so that is our... that's our Rise of Skywalker review, discussion and argument.
Yeah.
Upcoming videos we're going to have, Star Wars related, is we're going to have a Mandalorian review. We're going to be reviewing the Mandalorian TV series. And we're also going to be doing potential spin-offs.
Yeah, and what we... Not just like what's actually been announced, what we'd like to see.
What we'd like to see. And I think what fans would also really like to see come from the Star Wars universe now.
Especially now it's been canonised. Just like Darth Revan would be amazing.
And we'll leave you on Darth Revan and the image of Keanu Reeves
playing Darth
Raven. Thank you guys. My name's Tyler.
My name's Jacob.
We'll see you in the next one.
It's Revan, not Raven.
I don't fucking care.